So given the fact that we have in our seminary an explicitly apologetics context, we might ask the question, well, then why do we engage in giving rational demonstrations for things, right? Why do we argue with people if what is needed to see the truth of Christianity is that men be healed by grace, right? Well, Henry Renard says this in the preface to Maurice Holloway's Introduction to Natural Theology. He says, "The knowledge of the God of philosophy is a scientific and objectively evident knowledge. Consequently, it is communicable, that is, publicly between non-Christians and Christians. The objective presentation of the philosopher in presenting a formal demonstration of the existence of God paves the way toward faith, for it proposes a necessary foundation for the acceptance of the God of religion and of the triune God." So this, in a nutshell, is Henry Renard's statement of what we call a classical apologetic methodology. When he says that the arguments about God's existence, for example, are arguments from philosophy and science, they're demonstrable, right? And therefore they're communicable to somebody who doesn't accept other things of the Christian faith. When he says that, and he says that it paves the way toward religious faith, faith in the God of the Bible, he's saying the same thing that we say in our Christian apologetic methodology. He's saying that in order for somebody to embrace Christian theism, where God has spoken in his word, he has done miracles, he has sent his son and raised that son from the dead, the person first has to believe that God exists. Well, the existence of God is something that is metaphysically demonstrable. It's one of those demonstrable Christian beliefs. And so before we start arguing with non-believers about whether or not God raised Jesus from the dead or...
So, again, it could fall to the people or to the states in this case. But the 9th and 10th Amendment are some of my favorites in that it just opens it up. It just shows you that it's just not the case. And this is one of the most popular myths. It's even, I found it propagated in a lot of Christian textbooks. The last myth I want to deal with is that most of the founding fathers were deists. So if you look, you could actually go to a lot of historical records and find who are the 55 guys that were founders at the Constitutional Convention who worked on this together. Of them, now here's the numbers. 28 of them were Episcopalians, 8 were Presbyterians, 7 Congregationalists, 2 Lutherans, 2 Dutch Reformed, 2 Methodists, 2 Roman Catholics, and 3 deists, okay? So I'm pretty sure when you take 3 away from 55, last I checked, that's 52. That's not the majority that are deists. Only 3 were deists. So 52 were Christians of one sort or another. So it's just not the case that the majority were deists. And then even when you look at some of these early deists, a lot of them have very Christian sentiments. So it's really difficult to pin down like, Now, Thomas Jefferson, he's got his Jefferson Bible. He's removing the miracles. You could say, okay, this guy's a genuine deist. But others, a little less so. They're still asking for prayer to God, for different divine...
What is it confirming? It's confirming his message. What was his message? I am the Son of God. So it's confirming the same message, and it's confirming it in exactly the same way. And so the key then, again, is for the classical model, is that it's only because God's existence has been demonstrated. Let me say that a different way. It's only because there is a God to do miracles that it's reasonable to know that miracles are possible, and then further from that. I'm thinking, well, maybe what I should start saying if somebody says, well, so Richard, when did you first start going bald? I go, I'm not bald, man. I've got spirit hair. What's wrong with you? Don't you have spirit hair? It just you just can't see it, but it's there. But don't you read your Bible? I got the same kind of hair God does. It's spirit hair. But in a more serious tone,